It's Monday again already. Can you believe it? That means it's another week of live shows right here on the pre show live stream and, of course, on KBS Live. And today it's going to be Nacy over there. But first, we've got some strange creatures, some mystery cryptids, and a whole lot more. I'll be with you in just a moment. Hit share, hit like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Be part of the madness. There we go. See, you thought I'd keep you waiting for ages today like I usually do, but no. We're going to dive right into it. But before we go anywhere, a big shout out to the Wookiee first. Definitely first today, Wookster. We got Jose Ramon Francis in there. Good to see you. Sidvich. A man after my own heart. A man after my own heart. Give me 2 moments, folks. Anne's on the blower. Give me 5 minutes. Streaming. So we'll have a little dive through the chat room, then I have to run quickly, do my Mr. Doubtfire, take care of my a la carte cooking skills in the kitchen, and then come back, do this. You see, I'm a man of many talents, and definitely a master of none. So we've got Polly in there. Good to see you. ZX giving me tips on where to get more storage. Is it just me? Or are we all starting to increase our digital footprint to the point where, whoa, hang on. We're talking gigabytes of stuff here. And again, I could really blame the Wookiee, but I don't want to make him feel bad. But I tell you, since getting into After Effects, boy oh boy, really state on my hard drive has become at a premium. It's almost like pre-2008 before it all went wonky. Hopefully the hard drive won't go wonky. I've had no update from Anne, so we'll get through the chat room. I'll go do my Mr. Doubtfire. It'll only take me 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. We'll get into some weird stuff that some of you have been dropping over in Disco. Found some stuff as well to take a look at. And listen, today on the main show today, which is just over an hour from now, get a load of this. We're going to have Mayhem in Minnesota. Well, we're not going to have that. It's already there. We've got the new moon rising and lots more woo with our special guest, the Nacy. So with that said, let me come back into the chat room. Sidvich in lurk mode. I think lurk mode. We need a t-shirt with lurk mode on it. What do you think? I think so. I do think so. So we've got ZX talking about the new Aero Caramel. It's amazing. That sounds, dude, an Aero, amazing. A caramel, anything, amazing. I'm with you. Sorry, Chocolate Rush. It's okay, dude. The pic looks like a clubbed seal. Just you wait till you see what we've got, Polly. This is like bizarre. It's nothing we don't know, though, because we know that some of the most bizarre, almost alien-like creatures come from right here on our own planet in the ocean, which to me at times looks like an alien world. And after I show you this today, I think more and more people will probably agree with me. So we have got Ronald. A big hey to you, Ronald. Good to see you. Tiffany, great to see you. And Bernays, Bet, Sydney. Wow, 3:30. What time zone are you in? I'm over here in the UK. I'm in Scotland, so it's like 9:15 at night. It's getting dark. It means it's time for me to start streaming and talking. Leslie, good to see you. And who else is in here? Don't want to miss anyone. Thor, can't miss Thor. Let's see, Cinny Monk, can't miss Cinny Monk. Can't miss Kiosk either. Good to see you. We've got Rick in there. Great to see you, man. Donnie, always good to see the Donnie. And Donnie, we need to hook up later on Discord and try and nail down a date to do our men's business show. So listen, if you want to do me a huge favor before we dive into this, hit share, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll be back in just a moment, folks. And I'm sorry I need to nip off. But hey, listen, family first. Everything else is a bonus, right? There we go. There we go. Get my breath back, running about like a crazy. I don't know. Dinner at Kev's house if you can make it here. He'll probably be ready in about, oh, I don't know, 45 minutes or so if you can make it here. Hey, listen, if I could put on a banquet for all of us, it would be awesome, wouldn't it? We could have drink, we could have food, we could have scintillating conversation, dancing. I tell you, it'd be awesome, totally awesome. Unless these weird beasties that are washing up turned up at our party. You don't want any of these turning up on your dinner plate either, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to Carol, who is going to go and keep us all safe right now. She's going to go and man the fort. She's away to work. I don't know what Carol does, but I can assure you, if it wasn't for Carol going to work, we would all be in trouble. Carol, you know, I'm just affectionately having a laugh. You've been around the show for years. Really love having you here. Have a great day at work. And we're going to get into some crazy stuff. It'll be here for you to see when you finish work, tomorrow, whenever. But listen, folks, as I often do during these pre-show streams, if you've got anything to go and do right now, please don't put it off on my behalf. This is going to be chilling. There'll be a bit of laughter. Nothing serious at all. So please, I don't want to take up your time if you do have something out there that might just be a bit more productive. Because right here, right now, it's just chilling, chatting, and woo. I suspect out of the names I read out, a lot of yous are into that anyway, right? A lot of yous are into that, and bet it would be good. Should we bring anything with us? Says Cine Monk. Wine. I'm really getting a taste for red wine. Good friend Nancy, you've heard me talking about. Well, usually about, well, it's been twice we've got together now, me and her husband. And the first time we spoke, he had a nice bottle of red wine, and I didn't have one. It really put me in the mood for it, right? So I went and got a bottle of red wine, and now, usually every couple of weeks, at the weekend or so, I partake in some of the red stuff. Used to give me a heck of a headache when I was younger, but nowadays, I don't know. Obviously getting a bit more cultured in my old age. But a big shout out to Darwin. If he definitely won't be listening, but hopefully Nancy will tell him I was asking for him. So, are we all ready to go and take a look at some really wacky and weird stuff? I hope so, because it's definitely wacky and it's definitely weird. So, in the title, I think I put something like Strange Creatures, or what did I call it? I could look, right? strange sea creatures, and that's where we're going to start first. Now, one of our good friends, Ron, we know him in the chat room as Mo Ron. Now, Carol says, I work from home so nobody sees when I goof off. Carol, that might be about to change. Seen a story today, and you know how so many people now are working from home, companies obviously, and people working remotely. And a lot of that work, when it's call center type stuff or admin, pretty easy to kind of logistically set up people working from home. Although it must be a hell of a lot easier for the people working to get away with skiving, not doing quite what they would have done if they were in the office, but no more. Because companies now are looking at putting webcams on their employees at home just to make sure they're making the best use of their time while on company time. So, Carol, I hope. Oh, no, not Buckfast Kiosk. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Mr. Brain, not the Buckfast. Buckfast wine is definitely a favourite tipple of a lot of people in the west of Scotland, but I ain't one of them. I think I've had 2 bottles of Buckfast in my entire life, and it's 2 regrets I'll never be able to kind of wipe out from my memory. But no, definitely not the Buckfast for me, bro. But if you're a Buckfast kind of guy or girl, that's okay. That's okay. All the more for you. That's what I say. So then, as long as they don't have thigh cams, Polly, we'll get you sorted, man. You'll be cool. You'll be good to go, right? So, are you ready, folks? Now, if you're eating your dinner or something, in fact, no, it's not that bad, but it's definitely weird. Take a look at this. Yes, indeedy. This is what I got met with just the other day when our good friend Ron, we know him as Mo Ron, in the chat room, sent me this story. And I must admit, for a man that has spent a probably uncomfortable and unnatural amount of time looking at strange beasties and creatures, this one was new on me. It looks like some kind of giant, crazy eyeball. I mean, it does, right? It definitely looks like an eyeball. It actually looks like... Now, ladies, women out there, and of course, men as well nowadays, maybe it's just me. Maybe I've pictured the wrong thing entirely. But it also looks like something you girls or boys may opt to have selectively, as in an enlargement of certain parts of the body. I suppose my hand signs there kind of gave it away, right? But it looks like one of them, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I think it looks like an implant, but it's not. It's not. It's not a witchetty grub either. No, it looks like one of them, Carol. Yeah, I've seen people eating them over in Australia, that bush tucker stuff. Whoa. Donnie, please tell me you've never eaten a witcheta. Is it a witcheta? What do you call it? Carol had it in there. Yeah, witchety grub. I think that's what you call it. But yeah, no, it's a weather balloon. It's a breast slug, says Polly. I like that. So listen, let's go and take a look at what it actually is. So we come up here. It says a mysterious eyeball-looking creature washes up ashore in Texas. That's a big eyeball, ladies and gentlemen. Big eyeball, big head. We're talking. It's not it's not an eyeball. I wish I could say it was, but it says here Jennifer Baltazar was walking on the beach with her son when he began to feel a stinging sensation in his foot. So according to mysa.com, the two of them retraced their steps to find what he'd stepped on and discovered a strange creature that looked almost like an eyeball. Now, the next picture I'm going to show you definitely has the connotations. It gives you the feeling of that eyeball moment. So I'm going to scroll down here. But as we can see, this here, and if we come over to the Facebook page as well, make sure I've got it up there. Hey, there we go. Now, why I've blanked out Jennifer's second name's beyond me, because the article opened up by talking about her full name. But it says here, look at this thing. I mean, look at this here. Here's another photo I took. Creepy. At first we thought it was a fish eyeball. Now here's my son's ankle 20 minutes after the sting. He's a trooper, but he didn't get back in the water, and I don't blame him. We saw a few more on the beach. They're so small, you wouldn't see them till it's on you. Are we getting invaded by mystery eyeball looking creatures? It would make an absolutely fantastic B movie. Invasion of the slimy eyeballs. They came out of the oceans and then they began to walk. I don't know. Listen, we're going to find out what this is. I know what it is, but we're going to get to it. Okay, after taking pictures of the gelatinous jellyfish-like blobs which had washed ashore at Mustang Island State Park, Baltazar reportedly sent the photos to Jace Tunnel of the University of Texas Marine Science Institute. And Tunnel, he solved the mystery, right? Yeah, told my essay.com that while he had never seen those particular organisms before, after some research, he was able to identify them as Rhizophysa eisenharti. Now, we all know that my Latin is beyond poor, but I reckon that we could call it Rizzy eyeballs. I think we should just call it Rizzy eyeballs for anyone that's like, I don't know, grammatically challenged like I am, or our eyes. So the species is closely related to the Portuguese man o' war. Now, I've heard of that before. I'd heard of that, and when I was reading the story today, I thought, well, I feel like slightly better than I did when I first started reading this, because I had no idea what I was looking at. So it says, a stinging siphonophore that resembles a jellyfish. So he goes on to say, I've never seen these things wash up before, Tunnel said. And he added, certain times of the year, these jellyfish and stuff fluctuate coming in. And we randomly find interesting things coming. And this one, in particular, kind of threw me off. It's an interesting find, for sure. It says the odd-looking species has acquired some fitting nicknames over the years. Our eyes, I try to pronounce that again, are reportedly sometimes referred to as spaghetti monsters or thread jellies. Now, is that because it's cool names, or is it because, like me, they struggled with this really silly big name? Although I do like spaghetti monsters. They are typically native to the tropical Atlantic. The tropical Atlantic? That can't be our side of the Atlantic. Ain't nothing tropical over here. And Indian Oceans, making their appearance along the Texas coastline. Coastline? No coastline, Kev. Somewhat of a rarity. So there's a picture of it there. Now that hanging down like that looks utterly disgusting. That looks like a giant loogie from a Nephilim's nose, one of those ones, right? And I almost snotted on my own microphone there. That would have been terribly embarrassing. Terribly embarrassing. It was on to say Baltazar used the platform to share photos from her own experience with the creatures, and soon others joined in with their own spaghetti monster sightings. At first we thought it was a fish eyeball. A big fish. Balthazar wrote next to one photo, and she also shared a photo of her son's reaction to the skin. His skin appearing red and irritated, and we took a little look at that. There it is again there. Nasty. So it says we were at Mustang Island on March 27, shared another commenter, and I saw one of these in the sand and didn't think much about it since it was so small. Why are they washing up now? Why is this dude that's like an expert in marine stuff, why is he only just seeing these right now? Oh, I'm telling you folks, they're evolving. They're going to walk out of the sea one of these days and we're in big trouble. So spaghetti monsters can cause a painful sting. It feels really silly saying that, doesn't it? A spaghetti monster, need to watch that spaghetti monster, son. It'll get you. As Balthazar's son experienced firsthand. Now, if someone does get stung, well, please don't tell me it's one of these occasions when you have to, pee. Hopefully not. If someone does get stung, mysa.com recommends rinsing the area with seawater. Well, that's quite handy, since I would imagine you're going to find most of these next to quite a large quantity of seawater. Unless I'm right, and they're walking inland. That could be a problem. When they team up with the octopi, what? Boy, oh boy, we're out of here. So it says, avoid putting fresh water or tap water on the affected area, as both will reportedly aggravate the sting. So it says, however, the best tactic for treating spaghetti monsters is to avoid getting one in the first place. Ladies and gentlemen, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you that spaghetti monsters aren't just for Christmas. No, no, no. In fact, this one came at Easter. So it says, as Tunnel put it simply, take pictures but leave the animal there. Leave the animal there? I think I'd probably be hitting it with a big stick. I'm sorry, but look, that you don't know what kind of magical powers these creatures might contain. I'm just saying, big stick, big shoe, and run. Simples, right? Simples. So, any of you've seen that before on your travels? Box jellyfish keep the shark away. Vinegar. No, Donnie's saying put vinegar on it. Damn, dude. Fresh out of vinegar, Don. I ran out. My emergency supply of vinegar that I take to the beach, man. You see, you Australians, you think of everything, don't you? You got your beer, you got your little bit of stuff that you put on your nose and under your eyes, and that's for your cricket and on the beach for the surfers. I've seen you. And you've also got vinegar kicking around. And a didge. Damn. Us Scots, we're just happy if we make it to a beach. That's mission accomplished at that point. You want us to bring stuff with us? Come on, man. Pan-dimensional pasty, says ZX. Flamethrower, says Zinny Monk. Actually, can I change my weapon of choice? I want to go with Zinny Monk. I want to take one of Musk's, not a flamethrower, and deal with that. Send it back to where it once came from. I tell you, nothing good ever looks like that. Nature doesn't produce good things that look like that. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? But that's not the only weird one that we've got today. And what if I was to tell you that that's actually quite mundane? It's quite a mundane Monday mystery beastie compared to the next one. Are you ready? Because this next one comes from our good friend Lon Strickler. But before we get there, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to get a picture and get it ready to show you, so I get your raw reaction. I'll be back in a second, folks. PPP if you've got them. If you don't, well, placebo. I'll be back in a moment with... It's not the weirdest cryptid I've ever seen, because bizarrely enough, I've seen one of these before. Oh, wait till you see this, folks. And I hope with the very knowledgeable audience we have, one of you out there will be able to know what this thing is. Are you ready? Are you ready? You need to wait. Wait, is that Queen Goddess? It feels like I haven't seen you for ages. Queen Goddess is probably thinking, I'm here every day, you cheeky wee bug. You thought I was going to swear, didn't you? Are you ready? Boom! What on earth is that? What on earth is that? And like I say, I'm a bit weirded out, because I've seen something like this before, and I cannot remember where, when, or why. I'm sure the first time I saw something like this, they called it the Montauk Monster. But let us take a little look, because this is washed up. Well, not washed up. It's in Panama. Somebody went toe-to-toe with it. So it says this incident occurred in September 2009. Maybe it's this one I've seen. In Cuero Azul, Panama. So apparently this cryptid came out of a cave near a waterfall. It is stated that 4 children were frightened and stoned it until it passed. And I'm simply looking for further information. The discovery of a strange creature in Cuero Azul, Panama, sparked controversy among the people for what some say might be a creature from another planet. Others simply believe it is just an animal. And I'll be coming into the chat room so soon to get your thoughts on this, because I think one of you, if it isn't answered in here and I haven't read it, it's one of our raw reactions, folks. So I think we'll be able to narrow down what this is, hopefully. So it says 2 young men were having fun on the hill when they saw at the entrance of a cave a creature that was approaching them. They were frightened and threw stones at it, as we know. It looks like something out of Avatar. So it says Panama's Channel 13 showed images of a strange creature that appeared in the first week of September 2009 in Quiero Azul, east of Panama City, and that alarmed local residents. Now, according to Telemetro, there is a dispute that it is an animal and those who think it's an extraterrestrial creature. No authority said anything about the find. Now, Telemetro said that 4 children, aged between 15 and 16, saw the thing. They should call it the thang. Thang. That would be far better. The thang coming out of the waterfall, and they stoned it, afraid of being attacked. Note, this was an interesting story behind the find, although there was very little information given after the reporting of the find, and that makes it even more mysterious, right? Even though this is almost 12 years ago, I would like more information if available. Any thoughts? And that comes from Lon. Now, the one thing it does make me think of, and I think we've seen stuff like this before. Let me just have a look now, make sure I'm not going entirely mad. You see, now it's similar. It's similar, but not quite. In fact, if I open this here, give me 2 seconds, folks. I just heard the ping, and me being an a la carte chef, I know that means something. I know that's relevant. I best go and check what's making noises in the kitchen before Anne, well, deals with me, shall we say, okay? Deals with me. Here we go. I'm back, folks. I'm back. No, we don't want a free trial. Why do websites do this all the time? No, no, no. But we come over here, right? This is the beastie I was thinking of, and it's a different one. Um, this is the one they refer to as the Montauk Monster. That one. Now that's definitely different. Definitely different from what we're seeing in this one here, right? So what are people saying? Okay, what the hell is that blob on the beach? It's a relation of the Portuguese man at war. This thing here, seal. This one here, these arms are looking too long for a seal for me, I think, but I could be wrong. Albino hairless seal with some flippers. Now, on that one, the Montauk one, I don't know what that is, and I can see where you're coming from. But these arms, look at this. See what other stories we can find about it. Nat Geo. Montauk Monster, it's calling that. That's the Montauk Monster, so what's this one? They're claiming it's the same thing. I don't think it looks like the same thing, though. To be really honest with you. Let me see. What the heck's that thing? There's the better half just come home. What is that thing? Northville. Is that a Montauk Monster? That's weird looking. Definitely weird looking. Now, there's my better half in the door, ladies and gents. Could you give me 2 minutes? I know this has been really all over the place today. I did warn you. I said, if you've got anything better to be doing, please, please, please don't hang around on my account. But I just need to go and say hello to my better half. It would be very rude not to, right? And then I'll be back in just a moment and we'll get into this. And I promise, no more interruptions. I'll try. There we go. There we go. I apologize, folks. I apologize. My bad. Anne back at work today. I think she's back too early, to be honest with you, because her foot still looks like it's it looked like it should be hanging off one of these Montauk monsters that we're looking at. In all fairness, to be honest with you. But let me go back here because I want to try. There's something in my mind tells me I've seen something like this before. If we come over here. See, I don't just want to be sitting looking at dead animals all day, folks. This is a bit disturbing, you know? Let's see. I'm trying to find the one. I know you can't see this at the moment, folks. I know you can't see it, but I really don't want to be just scrolling through some of these images because they're pretty grim. In fact, wow, they're... This has got to be... I mean, what the hell? Wait a minute. Fortean Zoology, check this thing out. What is that? The San Diego Demonoid. What depths? Pardon the pun, since we're talking about creatures from the deep today. Really clever, right? No. But what depths of wooery are we getting into here? So it says nowadays it's getting a lot easier to prove the existence of monsters and mythical creatures And if you thought that the Chupacabra and the Montauk Monster were just fairy tales, you should know that a mix between the two has been found on the shores of a San Diego beach, and it looks devilish. Yet another dead carnivore washed up on the beach. Personally, I think it's a dog. What do you think? I'm probably going to go for that as well. But damn, dude, what is going on? Let me get back to that bad boy there. Let me come to the chat room. Have we worked it out yet? Come on. Maybe it's from Fukushima. You see the Montauk Monster 2009. When was Fukushima? I think, was that not like after that? I think it was. Looks like something from the Dark Crystal. Lewis is from San Diego. Let's throw it in the barbecue, says Bruce. I think so, man. I think so. Although I'll let you go first, right? Lots of barbecue sauce, bit of Tabasco maybe? Who knows, man? Who knows? You know what's really annoying me? Really annoying me is the fact that I know I've seen something like this before and it wasn't that one. Strange cryptid. Bald. Let's see. You know, I knew that was going to bring up an absolute plethora of nonsense when I type a strange bald cryptid. Never go and do that search, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, never go and do that search. Holy shamoly, there's things there I'll never unsee. I'm only joking. Looks like a dog. That other one did. Definitely Lewis. We've got Donnie saying it's coming from the inner earth. The smoky god. How good was that story the other night? Dang, dude. Donnie, this week we're going to take a look at your Baltic Sea anomaly as well. It's been a while since I've looked at it, dude. When you brought it up there, maybe last week or so, it was like a blast from the past. So we'll get back into that at some point this week. But that's not all I've got for you today, folks. No. We've got some other high weirdness kicking about out there. Now, I often like to laugh and joke about some of the more harebrained scientific studies that take place, and that's about as politely and as algorithm friendly as I can make it. But you know, like over here in Scotland, Frankie Boyle had a joke about it all. And Frankie Boyle's a comedian who how he hasn't been cancelled completely is beyond me. But he still, you see him from time to time, and he talks about scientists having too much time and grant money on their hands, and them all sitting about one day and saying, no bother, Peter, how about we study how many fruit pastils it takes to choke a kestrel? Because sometimes when you're looking at these scientific studies, you're thinking, how did they even think of that? Well, I've got another one of these studies here today. I don't think we're on the verge of breaking down the communication barriers that have always been a problem between us and arachnids, right? Because, I mean, we've always wanted to know what spiders are saying to us. Well, guess what? Soon we might know. Yes, they're developing a way for us to communicate with our eight-legged, as I call them, enemies, but some people call them hairy friends. Why on earth are there scientists making music out of spiders' webs? And not only that, claiming that one day in the near future we might be able to communicate with them. Hey, listen, it's a weird world we're living in, right? It says, could humans soon speak to spiders? If any of you out there have any ambition to become a spider whisperer, please keep it to yourself. I don't want to see any videos of that going on. What's that all about? Scientists translate a web into music for the first time in a breakthrough that could one day let us communicate with arachnids. Now, I have been told by my insider in the lab. Now, I've got insiders. Everyone on YouTube's got an insider, folks. It's what makes us cool, right? Because people are phoning YouTubers all the time. But I have. We're making it up. But my insider would have said to me that the spiders were looking at the scientists as if to say, are you lot off your bloody mind? Are you? So it says here, scientists in the US have brought the structure of a spider web to life by translating it into music. A technique that could help us communicate with spiders, they say. Now, very cool, very interesting, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, we're assigning these musical notes and this musical communication through a spider web, all very good and well. But I also know that us humans have got this uncanny knack of finding patterns that aren't even there. And then to go one further, you know, making complete scientific studies about something that, in my opinion, probably doesn't even exist in the first place, right? But hey, what do I know? I'm just some gimp sitting in a corner of a living room in Glasgow, right? Bring out the gimp, they say. So the gimp's here. The gimp's going to read further. It says the US scientists in the US, not just the US on general. I didn't mean to generalize. Not 300 million people. But scientists in the US have brought the structure of a spider web to life by translating it into music. A technique that could help us communicate with spiders, they say. They assign different frequencies of sound to strands of the web, creating notes that they combined in patterns based on the web's 3D structure to create melodies. That's absolutely fantastic. But who's honestly going to tell me that the spiders give one iota of a seriously? The spiders are probably sitting there going, are you seeing what these crazy two-legged things are up to? And how did this study happen? Oh, what are we going to do today, guys? You know, I think it's about time we tried to solve one of the universe's biggest conundrums. I think it is. Shall we crack the code and communicate with spiders? You see, this has been on the cutting edge of science. People like Einstein, they wanted to do this way back in the day, but the technology just wasn't there. Yeah. Many men and women have come before trying to break down this communication barrier. You know what breaks down a communication barrier with a spider? A shoe. A shoe or a flame. Anything with 8 legs, don't trust it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not an expert in arachnids, but you don't trust a spider. Nobody's ever come to you with a positive, fluffy, warm, makes you all gooey and cool feeling inside story about a spider. It's never happened. And don't you dare say Charlotte's Web. I'm not buying it. So anyway, if we go down here, it says, the eerie piece of music. And yes, we'll definitely have a listen to this, which lasts for just over a minute, made the eyeballs of the spiders bleed. No, it doesn't say that. Sounds like the soundtrack for an eerie dystopian sci-fi horror film. Or sounds like a combination of notes that's been strung together from a pattern that probably didn't exist. I'm just saying, usually nature has this way of producing beauty. If we were translating this properly, and if there was a thing to be translated, I would imagine it would sound like one of Beethoven's concertos. It certainly wouldn't. It would sound like it's played by 8-fingered or 8-legged orchestral people. I don't know, musicians. That's what we're calling them, right? So it was created by researchers at MIT. I always grew up thinking like MIT was like the mecca for technology brain boxes. Little did I know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you. Education standards today are slipping, folks. That's all I can say. So with laser scanning technology and image processing tools, now the experts say that the webs could provide a new source of musical inspiration. Well, listening to music nowadays, hey, why not? Something's got to do it, right? And provide a form of cross-species communication. Well, we're so woke, we're gonna speak to the spiders. I'm starting to feel a bit like Dr. Doolittle here, you know? So US scientists translate the structure of a spider web into music. Are you ready to give it a whirl, folks? Will we give the Spidey tune a whirl? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's see. Oh. Oh. I've waited all my life to hear that. I feel enlightened. And you said my music for the stream was bad. Take it all back now. Take it all back, you naysayers. March of the Arachnid, they call this one, folks. I don't know, but that's what I'm calling it. So it says the project has been led by Professor Too Much Time on My Hands and material scientists and engineers at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And at this point, I'm really starting to worry. Should we check the date on it? This feels like it should be an April Fool, right? No, April the 12th. I should have known. This is reality. Bloody hell, even April Fool's Day makes more sense than this does. Professor Bueller made headlines this time last year after he translated the CUF core protein structure into a calming musical arrangement. So this guy, Professor Bueller, does he suffer from some kind of weird, almost like, you say you get pareidolia? Like you'll see like random faces and things in like random patterns. Eventually you'll see something jumping out. Has he got some kind of form of audible and visual pareidolia? Are they all kind of mixing up? I mean, does this guy sit there and does he like turn this on when he brings maybe one of his friends home, you know? Turn down the lights. Oh, listen to this, let's get in the mood. Says webs could be a new source for musical inspiration that is very different from the usual human experience. You don't say. Professor Bueller's team are losing the will to live. No, it says, is interested in learning how to communicate with spiders in their own language. A shoe and a flame. That's the only language a spider understands. Have you ever tried calling to a spider? Even more probably apropos for what we're talking about here. Has a spider ever looked like it's trying to communicate with you? All a spider says to me is, I want to scare you. I just want to intimidate you with my little 2-inch kind of body. I want to shake myself about and I want to see big, hairless, bipedal things quaking in their boots. Because they do it. They do it well. I mean, I've never ever like been caught in any kind of life and death situation where the real crucial point, the crux of the matter boils down to, if only I could have spoke to that spider. Am I taking it too far? Am I? Maybe. There's people that identify as spiders out there. We can communicate with them fine. They still talk. Don't give them new spidey language to get into. That's going to be a whole new kettle of wokeness altogether. So the recorded web vibrations produced when spiders performed different activities, such as building a web, communicating with other spiders, or sending courtship signals. Although the frequency sounded similar to the human ear, a machine learning algorithm correctly classified the sounds into different activities. Oh boy. Now we're trying to generate synthetic signals to basically speak the language of the spider. If we expose them to certain patterns of rhythms or vibration, can we affect what they do? And can we begin to communicate with them? Those are really exciting ideas. Oh, Professor Bueller. Professor Bueller, you need to get out more, son. You need to honestly really try and engage with fellow humans. You need to get yourself out that kind of I want to be Spider-Man gig that you've had obviously all your life. The closest you can get is making up fake communications with Spidey. I'm not impressed. If we expose them to certain patterns of rhythms, damn. Spiders are abundant in nature, shoe and a flame, making up more than 47,000 species. And we want to try and decode what they're saying about us. It could be terrifying. But they have poor eyesight, so they rely on vibration of the silk in their web for information, such as where the next meal has landed. And now us humans are going to play them music We're gonna attract them with their own sounds. My God. They receive the information using organs on each of their legs called slit sensillae. Anything with an organ on or in its leg, not to be trusted. Now that there looks like an absolutely glorious etch-a-sketch from a 5-year-old Banksy before he graduated to doing walls and things. Well done, Banksy. Says spiders can tune the silk by adjusting the tension and connection to build a better web. Do you think they might just be trying to build a better web? And maybe we're assigning too much thought to what it actually means. I mean, does this scientist honestly think that the spider's sitting there ding 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 tuning up his web? Where do you tune a web? There's nowhere to tune a web. This guy has got no clue. No clue. Professor Bueller, an expert. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. In spider webs. How do you become fluent in the world of spider webbery? Imagine that one when you're at the pub. So, what do you do? Well, I have managed to carve out a niche career that probably doesn't even fucking exist. I'm going to decode spider webs. People say I'm mad. People say I'm mad. So he worked with Spider-Man. That would have been a really funny end to the story, right? Peter Parker was in here. An Argentinian contemporary artist on the project, which was based on a spider web spun by a tent web spider. This species is widespread in subtropical areas of Asia, Africa, and of course it's in Australia. Why, of course? Because Australia seemed to have the monopoly on weird beasties and insects, that's why. And has a tendency to make its webs on the guardrails of canal bridges. It's not a web, it's an orchestra. It likes performing on guard bridge rails. Well, everyone knows that. Guy's meant to be an expert in spider webs, for goodness sake. So the team scanned a C. citricola spider web with a laser to capture 2D cross sections and then used computer algorithms to construct the web's 3D network. They assigned different frequencies of sound to strands of the web, creating notes that they combined into patterns based on the web's 3D structure to generate melodies. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating how they've managed to make music out of it. But how in any way on God's earth is this a form of communication with a spider? Really? Tell me. Am I going mad? Oh my God, people interacting. But see, this is what the world of a spider web expert looks like, folks. Not very exciting, right? No wonder he finds it interesting listening to that god-awful music we just heard. Humans do the strangest things, right? I had more stories to get to, but I'm actually quite triggered by the insanity of this. To gain insights into how spiders build webs, why don't we just watch them? We don't have to make music about it and get all creepy. The research scanned a web. Or the researchers, sorry, my favourite word, scanned a web during the construction process, transforming each stage into music with different sounds. The sounds our harp-like instrument makes change during this process, reflecting the way the spider builds the web. Oh man, it's even getting into how the spider feels. So we can explore the temporal sequence of how the web has been constructed in audible form. Or we're just watching it. If you're into like watching spidey webs, I don't know. This step-by-step knowledge of how a spider builds a web could help devise spider-mimicking 3D printers that build complex microelectronics. Very cool. The spider's way of printing the web is remarkable because no support material is used, as is often needed in current 3D printing methods, which have worked well without the inclusion of spiders thus far. Just saying. God, here we go. In other experiments, the researchers explored how the sound of a web changes as it's exposed to different mechanical forces such as stretching. Dear Lord. Oh man, man, man. Thousands of years kicking about, and that's what it boils down to, folks. I don't know. Aye, aye, aye. There he is doing it with the woohoo. Yeah, very good, very good. Next story. Well, listen, if that wasn't a bit of weird science, this is weird science too, but it's one we'll be able to relate to more. And it's definitely something we've spent more time thinking about than whether or not we're ever going to have that long lost conversation with the spider that runs down the back of the wall, right? Right? Jurassic Park. I would say most of us, there's been a remake of it as well. My generation definitely remember a bit of Jurassic Park, right? Can't beat it. But what if I was to tell you that they're now hinting at the fact that, hey, if we want to build a Jurassic Park, we'll bloody well do it. Only it's going to be a Jurassic Park with a difference. We might not be able to make the dinosaurs that we all know and love. Oh, bad thing there then. I mean, dang, imagine not being able to bring back the T-Rex, but it's okay. Because they'll be able to make new novel types of dinosaurs. And within, I don't know, 10, 15 years, they'll be entirely new apex predators in a park. And nothing can go wrong. And just to really trigger people even further, it's coming from one of the co-founders of Neuralink. Yes, indeed. So it says here, Max Hodak has suggested it's probably possible for the firm to create a real-life Jurassic Park. Now, when I first seen this headline, I thought Neuralink, Jurassic Park, they're going to take us into a virtual Ready Player One type experience, right? But no, this is very physical and very frightening. It says in Michael Crichton's best-selling book and its subsequent movie adaptation, scientists succeeded in bringing dinosaurs back to life by retrieving their DNA from insects trapped in amber. Also, just on a side note, amber, very good for catching X-Men, mutant kind of superhero type characters, and those listening to spiderweb music. I think they need putting in amber as well. Hey, listen, they're just before their time. They're way ahead of their time. Maybe it'll be a thing 5,000 years in the arachnid empire that might form after we go away. I don't know. Whether this could actually work in reality, however, has long remained a topic of debate. Now, though, Max Hodak, cousin of Max Headroom, co-founder of Elon Musk's Neuralink company, has suggested on social media that it's not only possible, but that the firm could actually do it if it wanted to. Well, sort of. Biodiversity or anti-fragility is definitely valuable. Conservation is important and makes sense, he wrote. But why do we stop there? Why indeed? Ask the spiders. Maybe they want us to go further. Why don't we more intentionally try to generate novel diversity? Yep, this is usually the point in all good sci-fi movies where it starts to go wrong. We could probably build Jurassic Park if we wanted to. Wouldn't be genetically authentic dinosaurs, but maybe 15 years of breeding and engineering to get super exotic novel species. Holy shimoly. Like the flying T-Rex. Yep. And the pterodactyl will become some kind of limbering thing that runs about. It'll probably have eyeballs like that thing we looked at right at the start, right? That thing there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there'll be things like that running about as well, I would imagine. Imagine a 10-foot one of them chasing you. Not for me, ladies and gents, not for me. If we break his comments down and get a spider to help us with the analysis, it seems that he's suggesting that we could create new species. New species. Remember David Bellamy? There's a species. He used to be a right creepy guy. He would hang about in bushes looking at animals. He said he was looking at animals. Go figure, it was a simpler time back then. People got away with murder. If we break his comments down, it seems that what he's suggesting is that we could create new species via genetic engineering, though these wouldn't necessarily be genuine dinosaurs. Listen, if it's of a certain size, a certain strength, and is running about in Jurassic Park and has been biologically engineered from the ground up, I don't give two hoots what you call it. I ain't going anywhere near it, right? Dinosaur, faux dinosaur, spider talk, I don't know. It's also not clear if by we he means Neuralink or science in general, especially given that the company's focus is on creating brain computer interfaces. Not everyone appears to be too keen on what he's suggesting. Haven't we learned anything from the movies? One user asked. As things stand, however, there are no known plans for Neuralink to actually do anything like this. There you go, ladies and gents. There you go. Now, I had more to get into, but as you can probably tell, the whole spider nonsense really kind of took up a lot of time there. I didn't realise I was going to get quite as triggered at man and his attempt to commune with the spiders, but it did. It rubbed me up the wrong way. Maybe it was just that uneasy feeling. You know when you're talking about spiders, you ever feel them crawling on you? I do. You start to feel it and ugh. We don't need to be communicating with them. No, no, no. Absolutely not. But do you know who I need to be communicating with now? Since I've seen him, and I think he's messaged me over on the Skypers. 2 secs, folks. Just wrapping up the pre-show. Give me 5. Nacy, he is ready. He's ready to rock and roll. So he is. And I hope you can all join me over on the main show today, when we will have Nacy on and we will be talking about this here. Mayhem in Minnesota, New Moon Rising, and lots more woo. So I hope I've given you something to giggle about more than think about in this little pre-show stream today. I hope I've killed a little bit of that mundane Monday feeling that I'm sure a lot of you are having right now. And I hope this kicks off a full week of pre-show live streams where we can chill out, hang out, just talk, just drink coffee, and get a laugh at how triggered I get over the most irrelevant, stupid things. So until next time, and remember, I'm going to be live in just a few minutes over on tfrlive.com. We'll also be over at the Discord server. We also go out on TalkStream Live and Paranormal Radio apps. And it'll be Nacy. He is in the hot seat today. Hope you can join me for that. Until next time, keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Thank you, Jason, Wanda, Bernays, Bet, Buzzachino, Queen, great to see you again. Sunny Monk. Dang, dude, we got Donnie, ZX, Bruce. Always remember, if you can't chase it, if it can't chase you, if you don't run away. Whoa, Lothar, good to see you. Bernays, I ain't done that one. Listen, thank you all for being here. That spider music sounds like part of Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon, where all the clocks go off. Good shout, dude. Good shout. Listen, thank you all just for being you. Thank you for being here today. And if you want to continue the madness, I'll be live with Nacy in 16 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll go somewhere, actually. You do need to go somewhere to hear the show. You need to go to tfrlive.com, TalkStream Live. We're on Paranormal Radio app, and of course, over at the KBS Disco.